So one of the areas of kinesiology that I really enjoy working in is working with children. And the reason for this is, I guess, my own personal experience. For me, when I went to see a kinesiologist, the root cause of my digestive issues led back to an event that had happened when I was 12, a situation at school that had happened, and I was still holding on to and storing the stress and emotions around that event. And for me, I obviously realised, I was like, wow, if I had had access to a kinesiologist back then, and if I had understood how that could have helped me as a child and being able to process that in the moment, what impact and what change that would have had on me not dealing with and not suffering with that digestive issues for 17 years. So for me, it was really important to be able to help children to process and deal with and move through the stuff that happens for them, because children are going through a lot. You know, there's a lot happening for children, whether that's school, at home, their siblings, you know, dealing with the world. We live in a world where there is so much, we are so stimulated now as well. So children have to deal with a lot these days, and I really enjoy being able to support them deal with the challenges and the impacts that they have. I also want to make sure that people learn from such a young age that there are different ways and different supports available to us. So, you know, as I said, for me as a child, I had no idea. And so it meant as an adult, it took a while for me to find these things for myself. If I had been exposed to and shown these things as a child, it would have meant that during adulthood, my knowledge of who could help me and who could support me would have been very different. I've had adults that have come to see me when, you know, I've said, have you had kinesiology before? And they're like, oh, I had it as a child and it helped me then. So I'm hoping it can help me with this. So it already puts in place that practice of, okay, when things are hard, when life is challenging, being able to go and see people. One of the other reasons I love being able to work with children is helping them to really understand and articulate what it is that they're feeling and what they're going through. You know, and I love it when a parent says to me, oh, you know, they said when they were struggling, what can help them? What would they like to do? Is there anything they can do? And they'll say, I'd like to go and have a kinesiology session with Ruth. So, you know, the fact that they're able to understand, and then when they come in and have their session, to be able to articulate what it is that they need. And we'll often, working with children, I'll kind of work perhaps in a slightly different way, where we'll look at things and kind of go, okay, based on what's happening, which one do you think would be most appropriate? We always muscle test to double check, but the ways that we can allow them to actually be involved and to feel, there's a lot of big emotions that they do go through at those ages. So being able to understand them and have tools and ways to help them, I just think is going to set them up for much better ability to be able to deal with their emotions and their stress throughout life. So I really love working with kids. There are so many things that you can work on with children. Obviously, dynamics at home, so whether that's with the parents, whether that's with siblings, dynamics at school, so whether they're struggling with a teacher, with friends, being bullied, struggling with their schoolwork, so concentration. Sometimes have children where, you know, the pressure that they put on themselves, that perfectionism, or, you know, at the other end, they're really struggling because they might have some learning difficulties or different diagnoses that mean that they really sort of struggle at school. So helping them to overcome that. You know, I know from having particular struggles at school myself, the effect that that had on my confidence. So really supporting them through that as well. Confidence is something that people come to see me for their children, to help give them that boost of confidence. Dealing with their emotions is a big one, because often, you know, they are having to navigate how to deal with these big emotions in life. Digestion, so managing sort of discomfort, constipation, diarrhea, different ailments digestion wise, and checking sort of whether there's different foods sensitivities that are going on. So there's lots and lots of different things that we can work on and navigate with children. And children respond really well because they don't have the years and years of attachments to those stories that we've often built up as an adult. So for me, being able to help as close to when the event happens as possible means it's much easier to dislodge, it's much easier to work through. So working and allowing children to deal with these things as and when they come up can make a huge difference. And many people say, you know, after a session, it's like having a different child or having their child back. You know, it can really, really change where they are and how they're feeling. So if you feel like kinesiology might be something that would be valuable for your child and you have any questions, you can pop in the comments below, or you can reach out and get in touch and I can advise on whether kinesiology would be helpful and useful for your child. But as I said, it's one of the areas that I absolutely love, and helping them to put the pieces together and start connecting the dots to understand what's going on inside their own body is a beautiful thing to be able to be part of. Thank you.